Uma empresa que tem uma trajetória de mais de 70 anos, 77, de presença aqui no Brasil, tratando de inovação, de pesquisa e desenvolvimento, e já é parceira do país como um todo, da sociedade brasileira. É a 3M. Nós estamos recebendo o Cordell Hardy, que é vice-presidente de pesquisa e desenvolvimento da 3M, vice-presidente global. Mr. Hardy, my pleasure to have you here.
Thanks so much, Guto.
3M in Brazil for 77 years. Wow.
Yes, it's our first subsidiary, and so really a pleasure to be here in Brazil. I think it's my fourth visit, but it's a wonderful country, both from a social and visiting perspective, but also as a business. It's an important subsidiary for Brazil.
And it's a story in which the 3M in Brazil have a sharing, very intensive, changing acknowledgement and changing business and a lot of things. I guess it's going to be all over ahead.
Sure, yeah, we're continuing to make investments in 3M Brazil. One of the great examples is I'm in the technical organization, so we have an exciting investment that's going into our R&D capabilities in Manaus, where we're expanding our research footprint so that we can focus on recycling, renewable materials, and sustainable packaging in our products in Manaus. So that's happening as we speak.
In this event, in this Congress, there's a concept that in Portuguese we say ecoinovação, something like innovation and sustainability.
Absolutely.
You make me think that's the right way to go.
Sure, yeah, and I certainly have the perspective, and I think 3M does as well, that a sustainable business model is critical for business success, especially as we look into the future, not just in Brazil, but around the world. Countries and people are more concerned about the environmental and social footprint that companies have, and so it's an opportunity to think about how we can balance the need for developing business and products and solutions that people can need and want and use with the environmental footprint and the need that we have to make sure that we're using the best materials possible, creating the least waste, reduce water consumption, reduce use of virgin plastics, for example, reducing our carbon emissions and carbon footprint, and all of that built into an innovation model that's vibrant and successful.
You make me think that this way to go, in which the innovation is an objective, global objective, the people, the societies are doing a very imposition about the sensibility when we talk about sustainability and alternative energies and so many things. Is that you mean? Also, not the resume, but included the situations. The societies, people are trying to make the governments and private initiatives be sensible to these needs when you talk about climate changes and situations.
So, Guto, I'll try to answer that in a broad sense. From a 3M perspective, we try to use our relationships with governments, our relationships with customers, and our relationships with the general population to understand what's important. And then at the same time, we have values that do not change. We value sustainability, environmental impact. So those are all things that we make sure to care for. So we have invested for years in the State of Science Index, and that's a survey that we invest in third-party research that helps us to understand the broad-based perceptions that people have around how companies and science can help to address our greatest challenges. We have a sustainability value commitment that goes into every new product that we sell, requiring to have some sort of a sustainability benefit, and that's globally. And so, yes, there are some variabilities in how different countries might have rules or laws or things that are important to certain populations, but from a global company, we try to have some things that are common and baseline, and then we try to make sure that we're relevant at the local basis.
In this point of view, in this scenery, international scenery, is Brazil in a particular position? I mean, we have a lot of alternatives for energetic alternatives and developing researches with face very Brazilian, very personal. You see a special place to Brazil?
So,
an important, not absolutely, but an important place to Brazil occupied?
Yeah, just to make sure I'm answering the question, is it okay to ask?
Is Brazil in a particular position?
Sure. So yes, so Brazil is a unique country because of the vast natural resources and the importance that already is being placed on sustainable operations. You, as a country, have a high renewable energy generation footprint. You have tremendous natural resources for production of cellulosic materials, and you already have a great footprint in generating biorenewable ethanol and biorenewable fuels, for example, in addition to traditional energy sources like oil. And so it's a large, talented, diverse country with tremendous underpinnings for companies to make investments and collaborate with an ecosystem. You have great global companies right here based in Brazil for us to collaborate with. So it's a very special place for us to operate.
I think we have a good chance to have 3M here in Brazil for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
In the future. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. First subsidiary, and we're still off and running.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Stay here
Thank you,
with just a minute. Nós tivemos aqui com a gente.
I could not hear for one part, and so one of your questions
No, absolutely. Well, you're my guest, for sure. A gente teve aqui conosco o vice-presidente mundial da 3M no Brasil. Daqui a pouco voltamos. Até já.